Welcome to this sacred space, my dear Scorpio friend, where we are about to uncover the mysteries of your timeline, specifically focusing on the powerful energy approaching in 2026, because I know you have been feeling the tremors of change deep within your spirit long before anyone else noticed a thing. I am Madame Tina, your friend, your confidant, and a guide who has spent more than 2 decades studying the movement of the stars and the whispers of the tarot to help beautiful souls like you navigate the complex waters of destiny. And I am here to tell you that what you are about to face is not just another year on the calendar, but a complete metamorphosis of your soul. You have to stay with me until the very end of this reading, because we are going to unravel specific spiritual shifts that will explain why you have felt so isolated recently, and how that isolation was actually a cocoon necessary for the wings you are about to spread. I have seen thousands of charts over the last 20 years, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that the alignment waiting for you in 2026 is rare, and it carries the signature of a destiny reset button, which is something your intense and regenerative nature has been craving for a very long time. We need to talk about the atmosphere of your life right now, because to understand where you are going, we have to acknowledge the battlefield you are leaving behind, as the last few years have felt like a test of your endurance, where you were forced to hold up the sky for everyone around you while your own emotional needs were pushed into the shadows. You have been playing the role of the survivor, and while you are excellent at surviving, the universe is now demanding that you start thriving, which is a completely different vibration that requires you to put down the heavy armor you have been wearing since you were young. The energy of 2026 for those born between October 23rd and November 21st is characterized by a profound spiritual awakening that acts like a lightning bolt, striking the tower of your old life, shattering the structures that were built on obligation rather than authenticity. This is not about fixing what is broken, it is about realizing that some things were never meant to be fixed. They were meant to be released so that you could finally breathe the air of freedom that your soul has been starving for. When I look at the astrological influences surrounding your sign for this upcoming period, I see a powerful interplay between your ruling planets and the deep waters of your emotional self, which suggests that the silence you have been keeping is about to break. You have likely spent a lot of time in your head analyzing every betrayal and every setback, trying to find the logic in the chaos. But the spiritual message for 2026 is that logic will not save you here, only intuition will. The universe is preparing to hand you a lantern to walk through the darkest parts of your psyche, not to scare you, but to show you that the monsters you feared were just shadows of a past version of yourself that no longer exists. This is the year where the concept of the phoenix rising from the ashes stops being a metaphor you read about and becomes the literal reality of your daily life as you wake up with a renewed sense of purpose that feels almost electric in your veins. The preparation for this shift begins with an internal audit of your spiritual circle, because you are a sign that absorbs energy like a sponge, and for too long you have allowed people into your inner sanctum who did not respect the sacredness of your trust. In my experience as an astrologer, whenever I see a Scorpio on the precipice of such a massive evolution, there is always a period of deep solitude beforehand, which is exactly what you might be feeling right now or will feel as the year begins. This solitude is not a punishment, it is a protective barrier put in place by your spirit guides to ensure that when the new opportunities arrive, you are not distracted by the noise of people who only want to take from you without ever giving back. You are entering a phase where your intuition will be so sharp, it might even feel physical, like a gut punch whenever someone lies to you, or a warm embrace when you are on the right path. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine a heavy gray cloak falling off your shoulders, revealing a version of you that is lighter, faster, and infinitely more powerful, because that is the visual representation of 2026. This year is going to demand that you stop apologizing for your intensity and start using it as the fuel to propel you toward the destiny that has been waiting for you since the moment you took your first breath. We are talking about a complete rewrite of your personal history, where the traumas of your youth and the disappointments of your early adulthood are finally transmuted into wisdom and power. This is the magic of your sign, and this is the promise of the coming year, but it requires you to be brave enough to look at the reflection in the mirror and say yes to the person staring back at you. As we dive deeper into the spiritual currents of your life for 2026, we must address the powerful allies that are gathering around you in the unseen realms, because you are never truly walking this path alone, even when the nights feel incredibly dark and silent. Through my years of connecting with the spiritual side of astrology, I have noticed that Scorpios often attract very powerful protector spirits. And for this specific cycle in 2026, there is a strong presence of the warrior archetype, which you might associate with Archangel Michael, or a similar protective force, depending on your personal beliefs. This energy is stepping forward to stand guard at the door of your life, specifically to help you manage the karmic debts that are finally being cleared from your ledger. This spiritual ally is bringing a sword of blue flame to cut the cords that you have not been able to sever on your own, because sometimes our hearts are too loyal to people who have only offered us betrayal. This brings us to the first major tangible opportunity of 2026, which is the great liberation from toxic ties. And while this might sound like a simple concept for you, it will manifest as a definitive and irrevocable ending to a situation that has drained your vitality for years. We are looking at the energy of the Ten of Swords, but inverted meaning, the pain is over and the healing has begun, so you can expect a moment where clarity hits you so hard that you will wonder how you ever tolerated certain behaviors for so long. This could be a friendship that has turned into a rivalry, a family dynamic that relies on guilt to control you, or a romantic partnership where you are the only one doing the emotional heavy lifting. The universe is going to create a scenario perhaps around the middle of the year, where the truth is revealed in such a stark, undeniable way that you will simply turn your back and walk away without shedding a single tear, because your mourning period is officially over. This cutting of ties is not just about people. It is also about releasing the toxic beliefs you have held about your own worthiness, because somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that you had to suffer to earn love, or that you had to work yourself to the bone to deserve abundance. Your spiritual allies are here to dismantle that lie and show you that ease and flow are also available to you if you are willing to put down the struggle. This process of clearing the deck is essential because you cannot build the castle of your dreams on a foundation of crumbling rocks, and the new people coming into your life in 2026 need space to enter. These new connections will feel radically different because they will be based on mutual respect and spiritual alignment rather than trauma bonding or shared misery, which has unfortunately been a pattern in the past. Now, following this necessary clearing comes the second major opportunity, which aligns with the energy of justice and the realization of dreams that you put on a shelf years ago, thinking they were too impractical or that you missed your window of opportunity. I am seeing a revival of a passion project, or a desire for learning perhaps a specific course of study, or a journey to a foreign land that calls to your soul. For some of you, this might be as specific as finally taking that pottery class, writing that book, or visiting a sacred site you have seen in your dreams. But for others, it is about reclaiming your right to rest and enjoyment. The universe is correcting the scales of your life, balancing out the years of hard labor with a period of reward where you get to do things simply because they bring you joy and not because they serve a utilitarian purpose. This is the law of return in action, where the good energy you have put out into the world, often without any recognition, is coming back to you multiplied, and it will allow you to invest in yourself in ways you previously thought were selfish. You will find that when you start prioritizing your own happiness, the people around you will adjust, and those who truly love you will celebrate this new version of you, while those who only loved your subservience will fall away. It is a time for you to be the main character in your own movie rather than the supporting actor in everyone else's drama. I want to pause right here for just a second because I feel like we are touching on some deep truths that might be stirring emotions in your heart right now. If you are feeling this connection, if you feel like I am speaking directly to your soul, I would love for you to join our family by subscribing to the channel. It is not just about numbers, it is about building a circle of awakened souls who support each other. And please tell me in the comments below, simply writing, "I claim my power," or share a little bit about what you are ready to release. I read your words, And I send love to every single one of you because we are in this spiritual journey together and your voice matters so much to me. Continuing on this journey of revelation for 2026, we arrive at the third significant opportunity, which is centered around the expansion of your material world and the manifestation of prosperity through the archetype of the magician. For a Scorpio, this is particularly potent because you possess a natural ability to see beneath the surface of things, which is a superpower in business and career matters that you have likely been underutilizing or giving away for free. The energy shifting in your favor suggests that the skills you have been honing in the shadows, perhaps a hobby you are passionate about, or a unique way you solve problems at work, are about to become the main source of your abundance. We are moving away from the energy of begging for a seat at the table and moving into the energy of building your own table where you set the rules and the menu. There is a distinct flow of prosperity opening up that is directly linked to your ability to communicate your vision. And for many of you, this will manifest as a new job, offer a promotion, or a sudden success in a business venture that felt stagnant for a long time. The key here is that this new opportunity will not feel like a grind. It will feel like an extension of who you are, allowing you to work with a sense of purpose rather than just working for a paycheck. You might find yourself in a position where you are managing resources or guiding others using your psychological insight to navigate complex situations, which pays off handsomely. The universe is essentially handing you the tools to transmute your ideas into gold. But it requires you to believe in your own authority and stop looking for validation from people who do not have your vision. As this prosperity begins to flow, it leads directly into the fourth opportunity, which is deeply connected to your sense of stability and your physical environment, represented by the shift from the Five of Pentacles to a solid foundation. For many Scorpios, the concept of home has been fraught with instability or emotional turbulence, perhaps feeling like a guest in your own life or living in a space that does not reflect your inner vibration. In 2026, there is a very strong indication of a change in residence or a significant transformation of your current living space to align with your new frequency. This could mean finally buying that house you have been saving for, moving to a neighborhood that feels safer and more welcoming, or renovating your current home to create a sanctuary where you can retreat from the world. This is not just about drywall and paint. It is about establishing a lair, because as a Scorpio, you need a place where you can completely unmask and recharge your batteries without fear of intrusion. This new space will become a power center for you, a place where your creativity flourishes and where you feel a deep sense of belonging that may have been missing since childhood. It represents the end of the feeling of being an outsider or a nomad and the beginning of planting roots in soil that is fertile and supportive of your growth. You are building a legacy here, something tangible that represents your journey from survival to security, and it is beautiful to witness. Moving forward, we encounter the fifth opportunity, which involves new agreements and the concept of justice in a very literal sense, often appearing as the card of the Lovers, but interpreted through the lens of choices and contracts. This is a year where legal matters, bureaucratic red tape, or pending decisions that have been stuck in limbo will finally be resolved in your favor, bringing a sense of closure and relief. If you have been waiting on a settlement, a divorce decree, a visa approval, or the results of a competitive exam, 2026 is the year where the gavel strikes and the verdict is victory. These new contracts you enter, whether they are business partnerships or legal agreements, will be entered into with eyes wide open and with terms that are beneficial to you. You are no longer signing your life away or agreeing to terms that diminish your value, because you have learned the hard way that a bad agreement is worse than no agreement at all. The universe is bringing you opportunities to collaborate with entities or individuals who value integrity as much as you do. This aligns with the restoration of what was lost, meaning that if you felt you were cheated out of money or recognition in the past, the universe has a way of balancing the books this year, often from unexpected sources. It is as if the cosmic accountant has finally reviewed your file and realized you are owed a significant refund for the energy you have expended. As we approach the culmination of this reading, we must address the vital aspect of your physical and mental vessel, because all the success in the world means nothing if you do not have the vitality to enjoy it. The reading for 2026 highlights a critical theme of health and self-care, which acts as the engine for all the other changes we have discussed. For Scorpio, there is often a tendency to store emotions in the body, holding on to stress and trauma until it manifests as physical symptoms or chronic fatigue. The energy of this coming year is urging you to break this cycle by forming a sacred alliance with your own body, treating it not as a machine that you drive until the wheels fall off, but as a temple that houses your powerful spirit. You will feel a compelling urge to revitalize your routine, perhaps changing your diet, starting a new form of movement that helps release pent-up energy like martial arts or dance, or simply committing to a sleep schedule that restores your nervous system. This is also about mental health, specifically addressing the shadows of depression or lingering sadness that have clouded your vision in the past. 2026 offers a breakthrough in therapy or healing modalities where you finally connect the dots and release the heavy emotional baggage you have been dragging around like a prisoner with a ball and chain. You are going to feel lighter physically and emotionally, which will give you a glow that others will notice, asking you what your secret is. The financial outlook for the latter part of the year brings a message of gradual but unstoppable growth, reminding you of the old saying that a grain at a time fills the sack. While there may be sudden windfalls, the true power of your financial life in 2026 comes from consistent wise decisions that act as a solution to past debts and financial burdens. You are moving out of a scarcity mindset where you constantly worried about having enough into an abundance mindset where you trust in your ability to generate resources. You will find creative solutions to pay off loans or manage expenses that previously kept you awake at night. And this financial freedom will give you the psychological space to dream bigger. Ultimately, this year is about the integration of your shadow and your light, understanding that your intensity is your greatest gift and that your sensitivity is your radar system. You are emerging from a long, dark tunnel into a landscape that is lush with possibility, and you are doing it with a wisdom that can only be earned through experience. The relationships you build, the home you create, and the work you do in 2026 will all be reflections of this healed, whole version of yourself. The universe is not just offering you a new chapter, it is offering you a whole new book, and you are the author holding the pen with a steady hand. I want you to know that everything you have been through was preparation for this moment, and you are ready for it more than you realize. Your resilience has been your shield, but now your joy will be your weapon, and your authenticity will be your crown. Walk into 2026 with your head held high, knowing that the stars have aligned to support your ascent, and that the struggles of the past are simply the fertilizer for the magnificent garden you are about to grow. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and allowing me to be a part of your journey. I would be absolutely honored if you would subscribe to the channel so we can stay connected as these predictions unfold. Please leave a comment below sharing your own story or what you are most excited to manifest, because reading your experiences brings so much light to my day. And if you want to keep this high vibration energy flowing, simply click on the video that is appearing on your screen right now to dive even deeper into the mysteries of your destiny. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.